you can make your cooling system last as long as possible in your car. Now, engines put out a tremendous amount of heat. If you don't dissipate the heat, the engine will get hotter and hotter, and eventually it'll melt inside. The bearings will go first because they're the softest, and then goodbye engine. And these cooling systems have a few main components. They have the radiator that dissipates the heat. They have some type of cooling fan that sucks air through it when you're going at lower speeds. They have a water pump that pumps the water through the engine into the radiator and back in again. And they have this little piece here called the thermostat that allows the engine to warm up faster. It stays closed when the engine is cold, so the engine can warm up and the water doesn't go from the engine to the radiator and cool. And then once it gets hot, the little valve inside, it expands, it opens up, then it lets the hot water from the engine go through the radiator and be dissipated to the atmosphere.
What if I told you that you're just 10 minutes away from preventing the most common cause of catastrophic engine failure? Your car's cooling system is likely being neglected right now, silently deteriorating until it reaches a breaking point. I just finished helping my neighbor with his overheated engine. If he had watched this video last month, he would have saved $3,200 in repairs. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to prevent his mistake and keep your cooling system functioning perfectly for the life of your vehicle. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Now here I'm going to start with something no one ever thinks about, the thermostat. It's hidden inside the engine. You can't see it. It's inside here in a little housing. There's two bolts holding it on. And as you drive, they open and close thousands of times. But if they ever stick shut, then your engine's gonna overheat. So it's a good idea, just for peace of mind, every 4 or 5 years, change your thermostat so it won't stick. And take my advice. Buy OEM, original equipment thermostats. Yeah, maybe you'll spend $25 instead of $9.95, but it's saving your engine. Buy the original equipment one so you don't have to think about it for years and years. Because over the last 51 years of fixing cars, I've had customers, they had a cheap one put into their car, stupid thing stuck shut eventually, and they ended up blowing their engine. They were on the highway. Next thing they knew, the temperature was at the H and the engine stopped running. And in most cases, changing the thermostat isn't that big deal. Like I said, this has two bolts holding it. Now, there are some cars, like some of these crazy Volkswagen. Hey, some of these things, you got to practically take the engine apart to get to them. That's just their crazy design. And some of them, like those Volkswagens, are electronic. They're not just a simple mechanical thing. They're run electronically, and they cost a lot of money. They do break down more often. I think it's a stupid design, but hey, that's the Germans for you with their high tech and more efficiency.
Did you know that nearly 40% of catastrophic engine failures start with a problem most car owners completely ignore? That statistic shocked me too when I first heard it. Your cooling system isn't just another part of your car. It's the lifeline that prevents your engine from self-destructing every time you turn the key. Your car's cooling system is actually a complex network of components working together. When your engine runs, it generates extreme heat. We're talking about temperatures that can exceed 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit in the combustion chamber. Without proper cooling, these temperatures would melt your engine components in minutes. The cooling system circulates coolant through passages in your engine block, absorbing this heat and carrying it to the radiator where it dissipates into the air. The scary part? When this system fails, it often happens without warning. 1 minute you're driving to work, the next you're on the side of the road with steam pouring from under your hood. And the repair bills? They can reach $7,000 for a complete engine replacement. I've seen families forced to take out loans just to get their car running again after cooling system failure. Let's examine what actually happens inside your engine when coolant breaks down. Fresh coolant contains additives that prevent corrosion, lubricate your water pump, and maintain the proper pH balance. Over time, these additives get depleted. The coolant becomes less effective at transferring heat, and worse, it undergoes chemical changes that transform it from a protective fluid into a corrosive enemy attacking your engine from the inside. I have a perfect example to to show you the damage. Here are two identical water pump impellers. The one on the left was removed from an engine with properly maintained coolant. The right one spent just 6 months in an engine with degraded coolant. Notice how the metal is literally dissolving away. The same process happens to your radiator, heater core, and the inside of your engine block. This invisible damage accumulates silently until a catastrophic failure occurs. Most drivers make a critical mistake in their thinking. If my car isn't overheating, my cooling system must be fine. This couldn't be further from the truth. By the time your temperature gauge moves into the red zone, the damage is already happening at a microscopic level. The corrosion process starts long before any symptoms appear on your dashboard. Your car's cooling system has 7 critical components, and each one can cause complete engine failure if neglected. There's the radiator, water pump, thermostat, heater core, hoses, coolant reservoir, and the passages inside your engine block. A failure in any of these can trigger a chain reaction that leads to overheating and potentially warped cylinder heads, blown head gaskets, or even a cracked engine block. Now, I want to show you exactly how mechanics identify cooling system problems before they become catastrophic, and why they charge $150 for what you can do in just 10 minutes at home. The first test is a visual inspection of your coolant. Healthy coolant should be bright green, orange, or pink, depending on the type, and clear. If it's brown, rusty, or has particles floating in it, your system is already in danger. The second test checks the coolant's pH and protective additives, which you can do with test strips that cost less than $10. So what exactly happens inside your engine when coolant breaks down? As coolant ages, it becomes acidic, actively eating away at metal components throughout the system. These corroded metal particles create deposits that block coolant flow through narrow passages. This restriction reduces heat transfer efficiency by up to 40%, causing hot spots in your engine. These hot spots can warp metal components, leading to blown head gaskets and cracked engine blocks. Meanwhile, your water pump impeller erodes, reducing circulation, while your thermostat can stick closed from the buildup of debris. It's a cascading failure that accelerates over time. Let's look at the maintenance schedule that will make your cooling system virtually immortal, and it's simpler than you might think. First, check your coolant level monthly. This takes 30 seconds. Second, visually inspect your coolant color and clarity every oil change. Third, replace your coolant according to your manufacturer's schedule, typically every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Fourth, pressure test your system once a year to find small leaks before they become big problems. Fifth, inspect all hoses and clamps for signs of swelling, cracking, or softness twice a year. Following this simple schedule will help you identify problems before they damage your engine. The best part, you can do most of these checks at home with basic tools. Even if you're not mechanically inclined, learning these simple inspections will save you thousands in repairs and prevent the frustration of unexpected breakdowns. Your cooling system works silently day after day, keeping your engine alive through extreme temperature changes. You now have the knowledge to maintain this critical system properly. Think about it. Is there any other maintenance that gives you more protection for less effort? Remember the simple routine that saves thousands. Check coolant levels monthly, inspect hoses quarterly, and flush your system according to your manual. These basic steps prevent 40% of catastrophic engine failures. The math makes this decision easy. 30 minutes of maintenance per year, or a $3,000+ repair bill when you least expect it. Which would you rather pay? Your engine's life depends on your answer.